Hello, everybody. Unfortunately, don't have too much energy tonight. That game kind of sucked it out of me. That was... I mean, I think in my preview I said 3-0. Not far off. Didn't expect as many screamers as we saw. As many just world-class attacks. I didn't expect that. I thought, we would see a lot of things that would make you go, ugh, in this game. But I didn't expect, Messi scoring a brace the way he did, specifically with his first goal. And Luis Suarez off a volley out of nowhere. And Jordi Alba chipping it in. I didn't really see all three Barca boys and minus Busquets, really just show up and go bonkers. Obviously, we didn't make it too hard for them, unfortunately. We tried in the first half, but when you're Messi, that doesn't matter. And then kind of the wheels fell off as the game went on. That was a tough one to watch overall, just because you could see it. You could start to see the team falling apart in real time, realizing the gulf that was being created in front of them, that they would never be able to ford this river. And once that realization sunk in, you could see a lot of guys kind of just tune out, which is unfortunate, but not super unexpected at this point. Absolutely historically terrible season, historically bad, the way we've played all throughout the season. Really nothing to hang your hat on, nothing to be really happy about, except for maybe like a few things like Jaden Hibbert, but there isn't much. There's really not that much to be totally happy about. And I don't think this game has much of a commentary on it. I mean, you're good. Like, teams lose to Messi. Like, it's not rare or weird. It happens. If he shows up, if the Barca boys show up, you're in trouble. This is not all the time that they do. So in this case, they did, and there wasn't much we could do. And we knew that was going to be the case, that there wasn't going to be much from our side of things, because we've been really struggling. We've been, anemic in terms of scoring. If the Barca boys put a couple by us, there was no coming out of that. We saw it, after the second goal went in, it was like, okay, we're not scoring two. It's just not going to happen. We didn't even score one. We had some chances, but nothing really came our way at the end of the day. No puck luck for us either. It just really, I won't say it's not like indicative of the season, because like I said, teams lose to Miami all the time. It's just another disappointing outing. When in the past we've kind of surprised Miami, but we've had better players on the field at that time. Different time period, different season even. This season, we really weren't able to find the kink in their armors like we were last time. And we really missed the players that were away on international break, clearly. Miami clearly didn't suffer from that. They had a lot of those guys on the field that typically would have gone away to those types of events, but they're too old to get called up, but they're still really good. Surprisingly, Messi didn't go, but it's not too surprising if you know what the international window looked like this time around for friendlies and things. So, all right, with that, let's talk to AJ, and after that, we'll get a couple of our guests in, see what the people in the chat have to say. Again, not exactly the most interesting game. Messi just does Messi things, and you just kind of sat there, predictably on your hands. You didn't really have much to say about it. Even at full strength, I don't know if we're going to have much to say about it. So, it is what it is. AJ, what were you thinking during the game? And then, what is your conclusion after watching the whole thing?
So that first half actually was okay. The mistake notwithstanding, how makeshift that lineup was. It took him a little bit of time to actually figure it out, and you can see the frustration actually from Luis Suarez on Baracol. I think it would have been a slightly different match if Gregerson could have stayed healthy. as well. But yeah, that's just a bigger question that we will have to have for Gregerson next year, because the salary that he's on and his injury history, yeah, I mean, it might look like Barakal or someone else will need to be brought in. And I don't know. Yeah, it might have to be where Gregerson is maybe look to move on, because yeah, I mean, just every few matches or so, he gets subbed off with an injury. But I mean, ultimately, yeah, you know, you can't really pull too much from the actual result, because yes, it ultimately, with the Barca boys or Bartha boys, is that yeah, they're just too good. They're just too clinical, and you know, they were absolutely the difference. And it really comes down to, when we have chances, we cannot put them away. And when Messi and Miami do, they absolutely wallop it, or they know exactly what to do with it, finesse it into the top corner. It's just, yeah, I mean, really, I'm not really sure what Jaden Hibbert could have done any better, because, I mean, maybe Jordi Alba's goal, maybe, but I think even then, it's just, he was making really, really incredible saves, point blank as well, and doing all that he could positionally. So I think sometimes you just have to tip your cap to a superior side, a side that is just, they're the highest scoring team in MLS for a reason. They're sensational. It's annoying, because that's what we were supposed to be to a degree, maybe not to that level, but yeah, you know, our attack has just sputtered all season. But as well, this completely being makeshift, I saw some decent things from our homegrowns. Dominic Chong-Kui has a pretty decent delivery on him. You know, even on, you know, not really a ton of minutes, but also in some situations where he was kind of tightly marked, he was still able to whip a ball in. So, you know, I think there's good looks there. And I think he didn't exactly put too many feet wrong in the goals as well. Cooper Sanchez, I think, did pretty well. There was, I'm not going to complain about the ref, but there was a few things where it's like,
should have been a yellow card.
Yeah.
The elbow to Latte Last face.
Yeah, there's a bit of that. There's the Messi foul that wasn't really a foul. There was a shoulder. There was some afters by Suarez. There were some afters on Cooper Sanchez as well. He was visibly complaining of like, why are they getting away with this? I mean, oh, it's because they're the Barca boys. So it's just annoying that you know, they get the calls, but they've earned the calls to a degree. But is it impartial? Hell no. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, it didn't make the difference. The difference truly was that we're just not very good in front of goal. And the broadcast very much laid it out that at one point we had the same XG as Inter Miami, and they had twice as many goals as we did. Like, it's just that tells the whole story. And you know, when you have pretty much most of your back line missing for most of the year as far as the first choice, and then when you finally do have some of those guys, you look decent, but yeah, I mean, you just can't put the ball in the back of the net. I mean, that's just the tale of 2025.
Yeah. So I won't bore anyone with any stats reading tonight, because it's all bad news. Miami won in basically every realm when it comes to statistics. So it's unfortunate, but not to be unexpected. You know, that's the eye test, tells you the same type of thing. You know, we were kind of just dominated all over, which sucks to watch. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's read a little bit of the chat, and then we'll get our first guest, Nick, in. He's probably actually gonna jump right in when I say that, so I'm gonna give it like a second, so maybe he'll hear it on stream. Alan Salazar says, is there any actual wooden spoon trophy, or do we have to make one as a supporters group? So there is an actual trophy, and you will be given it by other supporters who had earned it. So yeah, it's something that if that were to occur, it would be sent to Atlanta and we would have it, just like the supporter shield is sent by the supporters groups. A new Wiseman says there's going to be nobody at the stadium next week. I might be there. I'm going to try my best to get there, so we'll see. So, you know, that'll be fun. We could potentially win the spoon like in that game, which would be a fun game to I can, you know, what's that, check that box off to say I've been to a game like that. Yeah, that's sad. That's a sad thing. Nick, how you doing? We're all in our feelings tonight. We're a little upset. How do you feel?
First of all, I wish to apologize to the audience that I am wearing a pink shirt. Not appropriate right now, but it had everything to do. It's Pride in Atlanta this weekend, and this is not a Miami shirt. It's a Price is Right Plinko shirt, Plinko chip shirt, Pride shirt. So
Nice.
That's what I was wearing today. I do not feel like putting a kid on right now. I will freely admit I did not watch one single frame of this match. I kept up with it via FOTMob. It was bad enough. And everybody's takes in match day chat and over on Scarves and Spikes as well. Our friends over there, we're all saying the same thing, is that this was just.
It was a clinic. It was a clinic by Miami. It was far too easy for them. It looked simplistic, child's play. At one point, one of the commenters said that it was Miami was, after they scored the first one, it felt like they were playing with their food after that. Which was really sad, especially with the second Messi goal. Kind of really felt like that. He just makes like a little smart run, gets the ball, just beats two guys with a shot, including the goalie, and it didn't seem challenging. It's like, yeah, of course that's what happened. Yeah, so just didn't seem very challenging. That's a thing too. Like, if you lose, you still want to kind of put up a fight. Didn't really feel like a fight outside of what AJ was talking about in the first part of the first half. There was fight. There seemed to be some fight there, but once, you know, the goals started coming in, it all started falling apart after that, and the fight had left.
Yep. Sounds like a high school scrimmage.
Yeah, it's very much, you could see the souls leaving the bodies of the players. It was just probably the only reason why you would watch, probably. But otherwise, yes, it's our eyes were not blessed in that match with anything that would make Atlanta United fans happy. Yeah. But yes, Inter Miami fans,
Hibbert with a lot of decent saves, but outside of that, he continues to be like the one bright spot in these games.
Indeed, but it's also this, you really don't necessarily always want to see your keeper get peppered and having to make good saves. I think there's solace in knowing that, oh, hey, yeah, the keeper wasn't busy tonight. I don't think we've heard that in quite some time. Yeah. And that is probably the most damning part.
I hope this is making Hibbert. I guess it is, right? He's making him a better keeper, especially with this level of peppering that's going on, the seasoning he's been going through this season so far with this. I think he is getting to be a better keeper, and that's good for us, I think, in the long run.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting cooked a little bit at times too, though, unfortunately, and it is. You have to take your lumps, I suppose. Yep. So, might as well take it in this season where, there is just nothing to play for. And, I mean, there is that whisper that seems to be a pretty, massive rumor that no one's really coming out to say is that, probably Brad Guzan's going to play against DC United. And, the broadcast was even saying it. So, yeah, I mean, Jaden Hibbert won't even get to fight for the, the avoidance of the wooden spoon. So I guess it's fitting that maybe Brad Guzan, is going to be the guy in between the sticks, possibly.
No. Yeah, I mean,
So,
that'll be interesting.
yeah, we can see him fall over. We can see him fall over one more time. And,
I guess I should
we
say
love
that.
Brexit, but yeah.
I guess I should say that for the benefit of everyone, that the Galaxy still hold the wooden spoon at this moment, and they're
Right.
getting ready to play Dallas in Carson. So everyone
Yep.
keep
Yes.
their eyes on that game.
I'm going to be very interested to see the result of that game. If LA Galaxy wins, oh boy. And then we're going up against DC, and if we blow it, it's like
I will tell you, my good
How?
friend Doug Reyes Serron, who of in DC, and me have both been keeping track of this all fall. And after last week, he was like, "Shit, it's going to be the Wooden Spoon Derby, isn't it?"
It is.
There's a name for it. We have a name for it. The Wooden Spoon Derby.
It's the
Take that
worst
and
kind
run
of
with
decision
it.
day for us.
Yeah, it actually will mean something, unfortunately, if LA Galaxy don't do what they need to do. Well, in the other sense,
Yeah.
for
And then
everybody
their
else.
last game is Minnesota. So
Yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
a pretty tough game too.
That is,
So yeah,
far,
Our good
far
friend
harder.
Wrestle up there.
Yeah, Minnesota
exactly.
will
Do us a
probably,
favor.
will probably
Do
us a
play
favor,
them more
please.
difficult than Dallas will. So this is their chance, and they almost beat Dallas at Dallas the previous week. So it's possible that at home they could rally and do something tonight, and that will be I am very curious to see what happens there.
It's sad that this is what it has come to, is that we're rooting for teams to lose to keep us out of last place.
I know.
I
And you
mean,
know what's
it
strange, Nick?
truly
There's
is.
a lot of people out there who are wishing LA Galaxy wins and that we lose against DC. A lot of people are saying, and this is a controversial topic, in terms of how fans should approach this type of thing. Because fans can get very vindictive. And they basically are saying the club deserves to lose. And they need to be embarrassed in order to get the full scope of how much they've failed. And maybe that will be the straw that breaks the camel's back, that forces them to act to fix something, as if they weren't already thinking, I'm going to as if they weren't pulling the lever, that said, let's just fix the team, right? It's for some reason they're just not pulling it. And this last game, and if we just screw it up that bad, they'll finally pull that lever. That's just not the case. So it feels weird for me to root for that, to wish for that, even if I think, it's like, oh, the team deserves to be humiliated in some way. It's like, yeah, it's a humiliating season. The season has done that to us already. I don't think you need a signifier. Like people were saying, I think like a couple weeks ago when we first started talking about the possibility of the wooden spoon, they're just like, well, to me, getting like second to last or third to last or the wooden spoon, to me, that doesn't matter. It's all bad, and it's all like completely unacceptable. And that's alarm bells are ringing. Blow up the team, fix things. This is terrible. That should never be where we're at. Like it's not as if, oh, you get the wooden spoon, and now it's like, okay, now we really need to work, really get down, nose to the grindstone, and fix this team. Whereas, oh wait, no, we only came in second or third to last. We can put it off for another year. It's fine. Everything's great. Like, I don't think that's the way it works.
Well, remember why the wooden spoon exists in the first place. It was invented when the Chicago Fire were going through all those bad seasons about 10 years ago. And it was just made as a prop, as a gimmick or something like that. There's a great article that ESPN wrote about it a few years ago. Go look it up. And it's just kind of stuck, and ISC hands it out every year, just like they do the supporter shield.
It's a great tradition. Why not? I think it gives I don't know if other soccer leagues do something akin to that, but I think that's a really cool tradition.
It's called relegation, and basically the embarrassment is that you lose a bunch of money that basically could be an injection into your club so that you can actually be good. And so, yeah, there's embarrassment enough.
Yeah,
losing millions of dollars.
Soccer club wasn't the right question. What if, because other American sports leagues that don't have relegation in them, I don't think that they have something akin to that, like the NHL.
No.
Are we going to get into this discussion, really?
No,
I don't know if
truly,
it exists.
No, so the reward, unfortunately, is that there is a thing called tanking, and so yes, you do
That's
get.
right. They have the draft
first
picks.
round draft
Right,
picks.
yeah.
Yeah, and so that is unfortunately the there is a point to actually lose a bunch. In MLS, there is not, and really. For me, yeah, you can have whatever opinion you want, but, obviously, I think it is about agendas for people. And so that's why they want, LA United to, they're rooting for the demise to a degree because they're like Dyla out or whatever. They're like Garth out or, whomever out. And ultimately, I understand where they're coming from, but yeah, like you, Mike, and I'm sure like you, Nick, it's difficult for me to wrap my head around actively rooting against the team that you root for. It's it's a bizarre concept to me. Yeah, you want to root for them to do as best as possible in every single aspect, but yes, realizing when they do. Shit the bed like they have in this entire season. Yes, it does. I don't know. I think for me, I feel terrible every single time that we lose. And, having that feeling kind of like, I guess they're trying to reverse their psychology and reverse their mindset maybe. Mm-hmm. In that, oh, well, I'm happy that they're losing so that change will actually happen. And like you're saying, Mike, like we've seen from Garth Lagerwey, from Skate and Offsinger, that even last year, that the little bit of time in between there where we were pretty bad, but not like this bad, they absolutely acknowledged that, oh yeah, like this can't continue. And people calling for dial out in this season is just, I think, obviously they are thinking about it. That is not like a foregone conclusion that he's going to stay next year with these run of results. But doing it in the middle of the season when, again, the possibility of us doing anything in this season, why would you fire a guy, you have to pay him, and then you have to hire another person, pay them too, and you just, not only that, you have the uneasiness with your players and whatnot. It's just, I'm not really sure what it achieves, unfortunately, when it's a lost
fresh
season.
Start for fans, and that's what they want in their head. They want something new in their mind, because the thing that is in their mind, fixed right now, is disappointment associated with Ronnie Dyla and the front office and the entire team. Nick, any thoughts on that?
I have. It was 2 games ago where I famously I said blow it all up. I'm on record as saying that, and I don't think it'd make any difference when you blow it up. At this point, you might as well just wait till after the last game if you're going to do it at all, and do it in the off season. If you want any semblance of fan approval for this, you do it the day after. You do it the 19th, no matter what happens. If you're unsatisfied with it, and do not wait, do it on Sunday morning. Get in before all the NFL news starts.
There's something to that. There's something to that, because you should, if you're making a decision, you shouldn't, pussyfoot around with it. You should go quickly, move fast, because you're gonna need to get the new coach in. You're gonna need to get him situated. You need to get him to start gelling with the players and instilling what he's doing, and that's going to be a whole new psychological rebuild for the team to figure that how to play with the new coach and everything like that, and get used to how he does things and the new staff that he brings in, if that is indeed going to happen, which I'm not sold that it will. There's still
and that's the thing.
He sticks around.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to ask here. I mean, Nick, like, what percentage do you give that Ronnie Dyla is actually let go?
I won't go past 50-50 at this point. It depends on if he wins or loses the next game, in my book. I'd say if he loses the next game and we end up with the wooden spoon, it goes up to 70% he gets fired, 30 it gets kept. You know,
it really would be beyond the pale a bit. You keep a coach that got you the wooden spoon. Like, that's, I don't know how you sell that. That's hard. That's gonna, you know, I don't know how you sell that. That's a rough one for me.
I mean, other clubs have done it. If I recall, I think other clubs have done it. So it is a thing somehow that MLS, you know, it's like, think about how many of the DC United sides were terrible and they kept their coach. I'm trying to remember his name right now and it's escaping me. It's too late for me trying to dredge it up, but either way, it's like, you know, it's such a forgiving league, and it's just, that's the probably annoying thing about it, because if we were in a relegation battle, obviously things would have happened a lot sooner. And yeah, you know, even if he was new or not, but I have to harp on the fact that the issue is we have to attract the right coaches to come here and be willing. That coach has to be willing to come to this project, knowing that, you know, it's been half a decade of mediocrity or worse. So, you know, I think that's one of the things that is a factor that not everyone's thinking about. But does it need to be done? Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if it's possible to find someone that I think is going to make the difference the first hire.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it's probably a little bit more pain that we're going to have to endure.
2-3 more windows.
That's what
2 to 3 more windows,
feels like, and that's
2 to 3 more coaches. Just kidding. But no, hopefully I'm wrong. And
that would be wild
I hope to be
talking
wrong.
about, because it's like, if you say, like, it's like one coach is maybe roughly equals 3 windows. We start talking in coaches instead of windows. So
Right.
The equivalent
Exactly.
of coaches to windows.
yeah, it's like
is
2 coaches and
Exactly.
3.5 windows more. It's like, oh my god.
Quick maths. Yep.
Yeah.
And but
Don't make me do math at this hour, please.
I know, man. Seriously.
All right, Nick.
But,
What's your final thoughts on this match? And what we're going to be seeing is the our first ever spoon derby, basically.
I don't know that there's ever been a situation in MLS when the 2 teams that could win the wooden spoon were playing each other. I don't know that has ever happened before.
That's really interesting.
In the
yeah.
history
sure.
of this league, since the trophy has existed. That's going to take some research.
I'll rely on chat
We will.
and see if chat can pull that information up. Maybe they can. Maybe someone out there knows, but I would be curious to know that too, Nick. That's an interesting point.
But I will say is that... Go ahead, AJ.
No, I was just gonna add that that's like incredibly masochistic if any of us knew that stat off the top of our head. It'd
Hey,
just
we
be
got
like
some.
someone has done the
We
research.
got some stat wonks in the chat, so like maybe who knows. But anyway, Nick, yeah, go ahead.
Right.
I will say that there is a lot more to this match next week to you all out there in the chat than meets the eye, because we're also celebrating Pride match next Saturday as well. And me and my flag sister Chris and a lot of people are going to be building a tifo next week to celebrate Pride, not necessarily what's been going on the field or anything. And that still means a lot to us.
Yeah.
So if anything else, you will see something spectacular right before the match next Saturday. And please do come out to the tailgate beforehand in lot 17. We have a great, it's our biggest tailgate of the year. We have drag performances going on. Details on the All Stripes socials. Just go there and look.
Yeah, that's an
And
important
if nothing
point.
else, you can.
That's an important point.
Nothing else, you can have a good time there.
Yeah. it's an important point that bears repeating that, maybe the collective Atlanta hasn't been very good, but we're still all individually good people and great, to hang out with and things like that. So that's good to keep in mind.
And I will be cheering in the supporter section no matter what. So, yeah.
I still wager Atlanta's got the best fans out there when it comes to their soccer club because,
you better believe it.
Anyone who's been to one of our tailgates knows how we go down. So, thanks, Nick. And we will talk to you maybe in the next, maybe for the next stream, or perhaps if I go to that game, I'll see you there. Who knows? We'll see.
I'll keep in touch with you all for sure. Thank you all. Please keep supporting us no matter what, even though we're shit right now.
Yep.
Have a good rest of your night, man.
All right, good night, everyone.
All right, let's look a little bit of this chat real quick before we get into our next guest, which I think is... let me just message him real quick. There he is. Okay. All right, let's see. So Lex Zone 6 says they got a clean house, and that includes firing Dyla. The tree is poisoned. Chris J says, is it finally time to stop calling us a big club? We have a big stadium. We spend a lot of money. But other than that, yeah, I mean, if your metric for a big club definitionally is winning, then yeah, we're definitely not that. The Colonel says, from his personal standpoint, Jaden should abandon ship and look for a move to a real side in any other league. I got nowhere else to be than Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The ticket is paid. F me. Yeah. Chris J says, one more game and the nightmare is over. Brian Diefenbach says, how can you root for this product on the pitch? I can't in good conscience root on players like Myumba. We'll get to him in a second. The lone W in League's Cup came from an assistant coach. That's true. Dyla wasn't on the field for that. Omar says, you can't fire Dyla because it would mean Garth and Chris's job too. Not necessarily. They won't admit that. No. They've especially failed. Yeah.
That's something good to talk about there, I think, for sure. Because, ultimately, yes, it may look bad on their decision making, but I mean, Chris Henderson wasn't even in the job yet. I mean, pretty much Garth Lagerwey made the decision, and he included him in the decision after, because essentially they were both hired at the same time, essentially. And, it was Chris Henderson also co-signed this. It's like, let's actually be real. It's, he was still working with Inter Miami at the time.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a thing where, Chris Henderson absolutely deserves more time. I don't think there is this aspect that always prevails. People are like, blow it up, everything needs to go, fire sale, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's usually often the case that you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And this aspect of it is that, yes, there have been a lot of mistakes, but ultimately, how many of these issues can we actually put on injuries, put on the attack not clicking, put on Ronnie Dyla? Like, I still think that there are very useful players on this team that could be players on a championship level winning team, but it's the sum of its parts, obviously, are not where they need to be able to win games in MLS. And, you have, yes, players in the attack need to go. I think there are some midfielders that need to go. There are some defenders that need to go. There are goalkeepers that need to go. But is it every single player on the team? No. And there are players that absolutely will be here next year that we'll see that, wow, oh, yeah, I think a lot of fans will be like, oh, I thought they were shit.
Yeah.
And they'll actually realize, yeah, when you have better players around you, you start to look better. Because, unfortunately, players down tool. We saw that in the second half. Unfortunately, players, the confidence levels drop in each other when essentially you have to make up for the person next to you. I mean, essentially, we had a lot of Atlanta United 2 players in this match, and frankly, for most of the season, we've had players that were not up to par.
Yeah. I mean, just talk about that for a second. The Atlanta United 2 players that we had out here tonight didn't have, like, the absolute blunders that cost us the game. Tristan Muyumba had the biggest blunder that cost us the first goal. Like, completely an unforced error. That wasn't an Atlanta United 2 player.
And it's ultimately that. It's, there's players that have shown a lot of inconsistency that, like, we've seen enough. Like, those are the players that absolutely do need to go. But there's fans out there that, rag on the younger players, that have said, like, Jay Fortune or, other players that are homegrowns where, like, yeah, Matt Edwards even, where they're like, oh, like, he should never play another minute. And it's just like, I mean, if I'm so glad that, the fans don't actually run the team sometimes, because there is an aspect of it that, yeah, it is very much, like I've been saying, the baby out with the bathwater. Like, yes, a young player is learning his trade and they had a bad game, but you're saying, oh, they don't deserve another chance anymore. And it's just like, if we gave up on Chong Kui, after his mistake early on in the season, and basically never allowed him to play another game, like, he's 17 years old. Like, it's just, it's outrageous. I think the mindset from some fans sometimes, and I think that's what's really important, is that there needs to be perspective. And it's just like, I think too often, it's the easiest thing to say. It's like, oh yeah, like, just everything needs to go, because, of course, nuance, that's too difficult.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
Yeah, nuance is anathema to any kind of critical reasoning, so,
Right. But anyway, we've got Indomitable in here. Hop on in here with your camera on, and let's see that beautiful face and the tailgate if you're there.
He's piping in live from Miami, by the way. I think you're muted, dude.
Looks like he's in an Uber. Yeah.
You got yourself on mute.
Is there rain? That looks like rain. No. They're just a bunch of cones. All right. You are definitely on mute. Still on mute.
There you go.
Hey, kid, what's up, guys?
How you doing, bud?
Good. Yeah, I'm on a podcast. I'm in my Uber. I'm in an Uber right now.
Cool, awesome. Hopefully don't hit any dead cells. So anyway, yeah, Miami, how was the game experience for you? Yeah, it was a shit result, obviously. We didn't have high expectations for this one, but, like, the experience being there, the tailgate I heard you went to, how was all that going on for you?
Yeah, they were celebrating very hard because, it's like their last, like, few tailgates before they move off to Miami Freedom Park.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But honestly, this is terrible. This is... I have no words at this point, man. It's just no legitimate league win since May.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
all that money we spent, just too much. Way too much money invested, and just the results just have been just ridiculous.
Yeah.
What justifies the increase in prices, and, like, will it justify people renewing? Like, I really want to see how it is going to be next season. How many people are going to be showing up? Huh?
Yeah. I mean, what
It's
do you
it's going
think?
to be the great question.
Yeah, like what do you think is the selling point for the club to try and get people to, come back out for next season? I have a hard time seeing one.
That's a Jeopardy question. What is the selling point?
Yeah, because like all the DPs, they're not selling anything. All the the coach, like the new signings, not selling anything. If you end up being the wooden spoon, like that's obviously going to be an anti-selling point. I don't really know. Like, there's no front office hires or movement. I can't. I mean, new training facility add-ons and expansions, that's nice, but I just don't think I really see anything that moves the needle. And I don't even think really anything could. Even if they were to get rid of... Okay, so even if they get rid of, like, let's say Moranchuk or something in the offseason, and they got, like, a new number 10, I still don't even know if that's going to really be that much.
Well, so here's the hypothetical scenario that I want to pose for Indomitable and also you, Michael. So, say it is like LA Galaxy in their MLS Cup winning year, right? But say we are in June, all right? June of next year, and we're doing pretty well. But is the PTSD too strong that do you feel like the fans will actually trust it and they'll actually feel like, okay, you know what, I do want to come out, and the droves, the casuals actually come back? I don't know if you heard that question. It's kind of loud there.
You can take a bite at it, or take a bite at it anew if you want first.
Well, like I said again, what's the selling point? You like it is one thing you gotta realize. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, right? No one like when you're not winning, they don't show up. That's how it is, and it's the same thing in Atlanta. Like, there's no selling point. You really gotta go big or go home at this point. And Atlanta try to go big, ain't going like that, man.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
So that's
Atlanta is a big
question,
city
though.
with a lot of yeah. I mean, I'll answer it for him in a minute, but like he brings up a good point though, that like Atlanta's a big city with a lot of stuff going on. If Atlanta's not playing well, people are gonna go do other things. Whereas like maybe some other cities, they're not gonna do that. So, but
exactly. Say like Kansas City or whatever. Say like Minnesota. Yeah, there's not as much to do. Not to call out those cities, but for example,
yeah. But it's like, what city do they play in, AJ? Minnesota, huh? You don't even know. So it's like it's small. Little, no, I'm just kidding. But not to hate on Minnesota. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know it's and they're not a city either. But yeah, anyway. But it could be. Yeah, I think they're in Minneapolis. Either way.
Yeah, we don't. You don't even know. That's the point.
No, but so anew though. Like, I don't know if you heard the question, but essentially, say it's June of next year. We're actually playing well. Say we're in the top 3. And do you actually feel like the casuals will come back out? Can they trust it?
I believe the casuals will come back, but at the same time, you also got to remember we don't fully know how the schedule is going to work next summer with the World Cup. So, like, if we can go with that momentum in top 3 in the first half, yes, you're probably going to see people come back for that second half of the season after the World Cup is done. But it's still a process.
I agree with that. That makes a lot of sense. You can get a lot of interest just from the World Cup happening. People just want to go to their local soccer club now after knowing that the World Cup was here and things like that. So, they could pick up a lot of casuals that way.
Right, especially if the games were actually entertaining at the Benz, if they were actually good, then they might have a hankering for more football.
Exactly.
So yes, that does help. And sure, but it's also this. It's of course, there's the World Cup happening, but it's, ultimately the actual, I guess optics for Atlanta United. I think that's really what I'm most concerned about here is that, ultimately for you, Michael, do you feel like the fans will actually trust it enough to come back?
Trust and coming back, I think, are two different things. I don't think they necessarily correlate. I think that if for the casuals at least, I think if they see that the team's doing better, they'll come back. Whether or not any of the fans, casual or not, will regain trust by a half a season of some progress, I don't think so. I don't think any reasonable person can be instilled with any kind of confidence after what we've experienced the last 5 or so years. It's just too much. There's too much data that tells you to be skeptical of what's going on. I think this front office has not earned that trust yet, and so they're going to have to eat some shit for a year or so to just be like, okay, they don't trust us. We've lost that trust. We need to win it back, and it's going to take a little while. And I think that's perfectly reasonable, and hopefully they're up to the task and can actually do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's that the goodwill really has to be just really brought really almost all the way back. Maybe I think there might be an aspect of it that might be okay, where some fans, like the ones that aren't fully out, right? The ones that still go to the games, the ones that still buy a few games here and there, maybe the ones that don't really pay attention. I think those people, yes. But, I think there have been some fans that have been burned. And, yeah, it's going to be difficult to see some of those people.
Oh, you use a great word, burned. I think this season is probably the biggest burn I've ever seen, like, in any sport. Like, I don't follow too many, but in my history, I'm like 37 years old. I've seen some things in my lifetime. And this is like getting your star back from his sojourn in Europe, getting the record-leading signing as a striker, getting, a MLS Cup winning pedigree coach. Like, this is the biggest bait and switch of all history if you become the wooden spoon guys. Like, that's insane to me. That is it is literally the just perfect inverse relationship of expectations and result.
Yeah, I mean, New, how do you feel about it? We muted you, so just...
No, I didn't. He muted himself.
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anu?
I think he muted himself.
Yes, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah. Sorry, it's on mute, yeah?
You're good now.
Can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, I mean, so ultimately, I think I forgot my question, but it's, what?
All right, well, the question was that if the team starts, doing well and it gets to June, does that get the casuals to try and come back to watch the games? Does that build back the confidence?
He answered it a little bit. Yeah, he answered it a little bit, but I mean, yeah, it's like I think there was a second part to it.
Okay.
That we were.
Yeah, the second part. Remember, I said the second part into it is that the schedule of the MLS schedule next season.
Yeah.
So, like, if we come to the first half of the season in June, we're top 3, all that jazz, right? Can we take that momentum after the summer's done, after the World Cup is done? Do we take that into the playoffs? Because that's what's important. And like I said, like you said before, the trust that you need to put into the fans, especially the fans who are still your season ticket holders, right? because right now there's so much distrust within the club and all that jazz. I mean, how is it that the best thing we can celebrate now is a new studio for podcasts and all that stuff? I actually have a friend of mine named Jack. He's from New York, and he just got to do like some kind of TikTok kind of thing at the new studio. And I'm like, so this is pretty much like what we're gonna be talking about, you know?
Yeah.
We're talking about reality that like this is what is this gonna solve?
It's going to
Yeah,
solve
and
our
that's-
studio requirements because we'll move in easily if they want to pay us to do so. So sure, go for it.
I know, right?
Yeah. Right. No,
Shoot.
but yeah, and ultimately that's the question that we asked. That's the question that we asked in our podcast was, yeah, what does this actually achieve for LA United? Yes, long term, you know, yeah, there might be some dividends, but I mean, it really, yes, it can, you know, level up some of the team a little bit, especially the academy players and whatnot. But we have to change the paradigm of how we operate, because if we're selling our homegrowns every single year and pretty much not really winning, well, then what's really the point? Because, you know, it's not really achieving, again, very much. And so, yeah, the prioritization, I think, does need to really lie in the optics, because yeah, great. You know, there's some things that are happening on the training grounds, but right now, I think every fan pretty much is prioritizing results on the pitch. And yeah, I think even this, it's like, if by second half of next year, you know, we sneak into the playoffs, is that good enough for most of the fans?
No. I mean, like, I think Anu was right. Like, if you're chilling at top 3 or in the top 4, which is like the target mark that they have, I mean, I think that that's a good start, and that you need, as Anu said, build upon that for next season, even if you don't, you know, maybe go super far into the playoffs. I think that's okay. I mean, you're pretty much going from the literal bottom to in the top crust of society in terms of the MLS, and I think that that's a fairly good jump. And if they accomplish that, hats off to them. And then after that, build upon it. And if the next season is not seeing a fairly good run in the playoffs, that you're competitive, that there's a chance, you're not a pretender anymore, I think that that's job well done. Then you're on the road.
Right. But I think there's also this aspect. Go ahead, New.
Yeah, because, you know, because like I said again, is next season we're veering into the unknown, which is the World Cup. We're gonna have players. We're gonna have players that are gonna be out and about for their countries and everything. So, like I said again, right now, Weiss put out a really good idea. Is that we can move, if we can get them, if we can use that momentum through the 2026 season into 2027, we can get ourselves back into a way. Okay, I'm sorry, my drivers. I mean, no, my friend is like taking a picture of me podcasting. My bad.
You're good. You're good. I mean, okay, so, you know, I think there is this aspect that next year, like, people think maybe this year was the make or break. I think next year, in the 10th year of Atlanta United, because that's what it is. It is the actual 10th anniversary, essentially. Yeah. And by the end of next season, that's what it would be. And yeah, you have the fans. I'm going to mute you real quick. Sorry about. But the important part is that right now you still have season ticket holders. But next year, if you're not good, I don't think there will be very many.
Yeah.
I think it might even be half. And that is a scary prospect.
Yeah.
Yep. It's something that absolutely, like, next year, in my mind, is make or break.
Yeah, so we need to start looking at who's the next so outside of Garth Lagerwey and Chris Henderson, who are the respective best people at their positions right now in those? Can we look at like them in the next year and a half if things are just still not on track? Because goddamn.
Yeah, it's let's throw that weight around. Let's poach the best people from around the league. Even if they have a long-term contract, hey, you know we can pay more.
Yeah.
You know that, right? And that's really what it is. It's like, LAFC, like, hey, listen, guys, Thorington, what's up, man? Basically anybody, like, it really is. It's just the best coaches, the best minds, the best analysts. I mean, at this point, like, it has to happen. But it doesn't mean that we need to fire everybody. But it does mean we need to hire better. Yeah, it does mean we need to hire better. And we need to pretty much realize, and there's this kind of term of like IDS, but we need to really get into it of what are we not doing right? How can we incrementally get better every single month?
Guys, we have a hot wooden spoon update. FC Dallas has gone down to 10 men with a red card.
Oh.
So LA got the game is still 0-0 though.
Yeah. What minute?
29th minute.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah. Oh, it's been written in the stars.
It is. But anyway, and you're on mute.
No, he's not on mute. He's good.
I muted him.
No, that's just. Shit. I'm also like, I know some people are gonna probably gonna bring wooden spoons to the game next week. Heck, I don't even know how many people are going to be showing up. I might, man.
Hey, we'll have we'll have the whole stadium for us to play in.
Right,
essentially.
it's the Brad Guzan fan
we can run
club.
up and down.
Showed up.
Run up and down the stairwells, and we'll all basically go move down to the front row because no one's gonna stop us. So we really, come on.
I mean, let's go play pickup at. I think we can go play pickup down in the at Molly B's or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
know,
dude.
right?
That space up there in front of the supporters, with no foot traffic at all, that could be some indoor soccer room right there.
That'd be a fast game, but I don't think they usually allow people to bring balls in, but
there's balls in there. I've seen them in the stadium. You can probably steal some.
Or if you buy one, you just have to find a way to inflate it. But
there's that escalator. There's that escalator that goes up to the third level, and that's that big cargo net of balls. Just somehow get them to come down.
Michael, that's vandalism.
Listen, I'm just trying to figure out ways to make this last game entertaining.
Yeah, I know, right? Because that might be more entertaining than what's on the pitch, besides the avoidance of the wooden spoon. But anyway, Anu, let's get your final thoughts.
My final thought is the weather was nice and tailgating was very fun down there with the Miami people. It's good to know that there's still some true fans out there instead of walking around with a bunch of people wearing Messi shirts.
True. So I saw a picture of you with a bunch of Messi guys or Miami guys. Did they have Messi on any of those jerseys?
No.
Yeah, just a kid.
Oh, okay.
Just the kid. Kids are fine. Kids are fine. They can have heroes.
That's acceptable. Yeah.
And also thanks to our Miami correspondent Bella, who's driving us right now.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Bella. Thanks for transporting him safely.
Yeah, get this baby boy home safe.
All right, Anu. Well, yeah, pleasure, man. Get home safely and enjoy the rest of your trip.
Okay, see ya.
See you, bud.
See you, man.
All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the guest tonight. Let's read a little bit more of these comments, and then we'll finish up here. It's almost, 11:12 right now. Making decent time. Brian Diefenbach says, 2 coaches who fans loved were Tata and Rob Valentino. Both were no bullshit coaches and didn't speak in coach talk. I want to add a guy to that. Glassy, the Dutch uncle of Atlanta United, tells it like it is. I loved hearing his raw comments. Yeah, the Dutch uncle, that's a term meaning someone who doesn't piss about. They just tell it as it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Nick in the ATL says, there's this guy I saw in LA last weekend. Yeah. He also said, Brian also says, I'd rather watch a team of homegrown who would show more effort than what we're seeing. Yeah, that's a thing too. I mean, at this point in the season, I kind of
especially
understand.
if we're losing.
Right, I kind of understand
Yeah,
why heads drop and why, this has been just a shit bag of a season. So yeah, the players, just get punched and they just get punched and they keep getting beaten down. I kind of get the melancholy of the players, what they're suffering, but it still is this concept that Ronnie has brought up a couple times. We've brought up many times. Any real fan should bring up is that if you ever put on the Atlanta badge, you play your heart out every time. That's what we expect. That's the standard. That's what we want. If you don't do that, bye-bye. It's that simple. It should be that simple. Obviously, economically, it's not that simple, but when it comes to pride of your city and pride of your team and the job you want to do as a player yourself, you owe it to yourself, even when the chips are down, to be putting your 100% in, if not 110. Like, it's really sad and disheartening because everyone can tell. Everyone sees it. It's not hidden. It's very plain as day what the attitude and what the disposition of the players are. And again, it's not fully a lot of their faults with a lot of the things, like some more than others and some more than others in certain games and certain parts of the season. It ebbs and flows, but it's still, you should have pride in what you're doing every game and try as hard as you can in every game, especially with the amount of money some of these people are making. I put more effort and pride into what I do every day, and I don't make anywhere close to theirs. So it's a little disheartening, and fans see it. We're not stupid. We see it, and at the very least, that should be the minimum and the standard. And next season, that needs to be there. It needs to come back. If it's not, then it's you get punched in the face and you go down, you get, depressed on the field, and then you just start getting beat up on after that. That's unacceptable. This is unacceptable. We need to have more, kind of like how we did in 2023, where the team would get hit in the mouth and we would make a lot of late game comebacks. At least that team cared a lot to at least come back and stay in the game. We haven't had a lot of that lately at all.
Yeah, and ultimately, that's probably where the homegrown talk comes in, is that, even if we're losing, we'll at least develop the kids, and those kids that have largely, anyway, grown up around Atlanta or in Georgia, well, they almost by virtue, by relativity, maybe, for maybe a lack of a better word, that they will have more pride for the badge than, the players that are on high wages that clearly are, showing something different. And so, I think that's the crux of it. And I think there's also the injury aspect that, still continues to rear its head. And,
Stop signing
also
glass
needs to be sorted out.
players. That was brought up in the chat today in the Discord. Stop signing glass players. It's that simple too. I mean, it's hard to quantify that, obviously, and scout for that, but apparently we do it more than any other team, so we need to do better at that.
Right. And it's also depth too. And I think that's where MLS really needs to, because yeah, if we're fighting on all these fronts and plus, you know, we're allowing these players to essentially go on international duty and then possibly get injured, but also where we don't have any player that can even be anywhere remotely close to that type of level of production. Well then, yeah, we're just handcuffing the league. And we're handcuffing the entertainment value, and then ultimately, yeah, the league looks terrible because of it. Because again, nuance is a thing that doesn't really exist in the zeitgeist of the soccer/football conversation. So it's like, oh yeah, they were just terrible because, you know, blah, blah, blah. And they don't think about, oh, okay, well, yeah, which players were actually able to play, what did the lineup look like?
Right.
You know, who were you playing against? Oh, you know, like a result like tonight is just going to be, oh, well, you know, they got clapped again.
Yeah, they didn't win
But
again.
it's like, but, you know, there is a whole lot more to what happened tonight. But anyway,
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's a good place.
Most people are casual, you know, reactionary type viewers for sure. Completely, yeah.
Right, and that's really where, yes, if you are able to allow the salary structure to loosen up a little bit, the teams that want to spend, I mean, I think Atlanta United definitely would be a team that wants to spend more.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, do we really only want to play or pay, you know, 3 guys over $1 million?
Yeah, it's like that, and also like we can only add so many wings to the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta training facility, guys. This thing is gonna turn into like a super complex at a certain point because we can't. Right. It's like we can't fit the money onto the team, so it just by nature spills out onto all these other peripherals that are just getting so, you know, state of the art and massive that, you know, it like dwarfs all the competition's versions of these things. It's funny that, you know, we obviously it's begging that we would be able to divert those funds into the actual team itself and not have to have it just all the overflow go to all these other things to try and, you know, accumulate or attract talent and things like that.
Right. Because, yes, okay, you know, those 3 players, did we overpay for some of them? Hell yes, we did. But, you know, if you're able to basically make up for those mistakes, I mean, I think that's really where, you know, the throwing around of the money actually is useful in that degree. And, you know, still, of course, within the rules and all that type of thing. But it's just like, yeah, like we've been hamstrung by not only injuries, but non-production, and I think that's, yeah, you know, something that's, it's tough. Like, you know, you have the likes of Inter Miami that are just, they basically have carte blanche to be able to bring in whatever players they want, and it's, you know, like it's not necessarily a fair fighting ground. But anyway, yeah, I think, yeah, that's a good spot to probably and we'll go spin this wheel, you know.
Oh boy. All right, let me get this going. Just talk for me for a second while I get this set up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's where, you know, the likes of LAFC can bring in and let go, you know, like a Son and let go Olivier Giroud.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, it's like we've reverted back, you know, to MLS 2.0 for sure. And I mean, if there's an MLS 4.0, I think it's got to be where, you know, every team that wants to spend money, you know, up to a cap, can spend more to fight in these competitions where it will look better. If we're playing against a Liga MX team, we want to beat those Liga MX teams. Not, oh, it was a surprise that we beat them. Like, no. We want to dominate them. And, like, you know, these types of teams that if we beat them it looks so good on the league. So, as well in Club World Cup, if there's, Inter Miami with Messi, that's a whole different story. But, the other teams almost have no chance. And it's something that most of the other teams around the world outside of the top 5 leagues have difficulty as well. But look at Saudi Arabia. I mean, they're essentially allowing everything to happen. Mm-hmm. They're wooing away like Premier League level players that are decently near their prime or, just out of it. And yes, okay, we got Son in this league, but I mean, look at how many players are in Saudi Arabia and how many players are in MLS. Like it's unfortunately still a retirement league in some respects for those MLS 2.0 type of players. Those players that are obviously good enough to play in, most of the leagues around the world, but when they come here, they think, yeah, I'm going to probably be able to dominate. And largely they still are going to be able to. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at Son, look at Muller. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, Muller's going nuts with 6 goals in like 6 games or something like that. It's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
But, all right, got the wheel up. Let's get to it. Let's see if it actually will work. Waiting on it to pop on over. OBS likes to take its time. There it goes. Finally. All right. So we got me or AJ, obviously, this time around. Let's see who it lands on. Can it not be me again? Oh, it's finally AJ. Let's go.
Oh, boy.
Finally AJ. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Next one is the Wheel of Misfortune. Let's see what we got going here. We got on here.
And just note that some of these slices were chosen by our highest level Patreon members, and so if you want to be able to see what kind of punishments you can do onto us, rather, then join us on the Patreon so that you can choose.
Mm-hmm. Just waiting for it to load again. There it goes. Okay, it's finally on. So we got tonight, Spicy Challenge, Random Object Comparison, Yoda voice for 5 minutes, fake sponsor ad read, and Go Call Karaoke. So I added that one on for you, AJ. Hoping, but yeah, it might. I'm hoping honestly it's Yoda. That's been on there for a while. I'm really hoping Yoda comes good finally. Hey, I had to paint my face purple. Okay.
I'm dressed as Prince and gone to a game. So.
That's not that bad. That's kind of cool. Prince is a cool icon. So, well, formerly known as. Sorry. Okay. Anyway, so let's spin that. Here we go. Ooh. Oh, it's so close. So close to Yoda. It was a tiny, tiny, tiny little centimeter away. Millimeter away. All right, so it ends up being the fake sponsor ad read. Okay. All right, do you want to remind them what that is?
So the fake sponsor ad read, let me remember here. I think I'll pull it up. I think I got it. I think I see it. Give me a sec.
Oh, I got
it.
It must deliver a passionate 1-minute ad read for a completely ridiculous fake product. For example, invisible socks for dogs. So he's going to have to deliver a convincing one. So it's going to have to be judged by a jury of your peers.
Man, 1 minute. that's an eternity.
You got to really think of some arguments for why it's a good product.
All right.
Get your salesman hat on.
Seriously. My God.
All right, let's see if there's any more comments real quick before we head out of here. Joshua Ilse says, we just got other injured again. Yeah, we got Stian injured. Sanchez, also Cooper Sanchez got pulled out of the game. And I think there was a third one too. There was an injury too to who was it? There was another one, wasn't there?
Yeah, Alfonso.
Yeah, Alfonso. That's right. He came out. So yeah, a lot of not good. A lot of not good there when it comes to injuries. And hopefully Stian can play in the last game, but I mean, there's a good chance he won't be able to. It looked like a hammy. At first when he went down, I was worried he was grabbing his knee, and that really made me sad. But yeah, it seems like it's a hammy. So we'll see if he can be good for that. Fingers crossed. Who knows? Omar says the East will be a slaughterhouse next year too. So even fourth by midpoint will still not be good enough to clinch playoffs. Well, even so, I still think it's a decent measure of what we are, our trajectory is, like what we're trying to do. Because if we're just not meeting that, that's tough. That's really tough. That's going to be hard to sell to the fans or anyone that we're on the right track at that point. Because really next season is, are we on the right track? Being relevant again is a good start. Being outside of the top like 5 or 6, and especially not making playoffs, regardless of how deep the Eastern Conference is, that's a bridge too far for me.
Agreed.
Let's see. Omar GS, not to be confused with Omar S, said, missed the game. I didn't miss anything important. Yeah, you really didn't. This was pretty much what we kind of all expected it to be. I had a 3-0. I didn't think it was going to be 4-0. But I didn't expect Jordi Alba to score a goal, especially the way he did.
Yeah.
So he did his best Messi impersonation.
Right. I think, there was some development from homegrown players that I think was good to see. So from that end, for the diehards, I think that's really where, the value in this game was. Otherwise, seeing your team get drubbed is not super fun. But, so try to pull the little bit of positives.
Omar with the clutch statistic wonk pull for us. Chicago versus New England in 2004 was a decision day wooden spoon El Chitifico match, which is wonderful to say.
But that's a different era completely, because there's only so many teams in that era, right? And so when you have this many teams in the league, the chances of that happening on the last day, I think, become significantly harder. So this is, I think, even more of an anomaly. Like, when there's only about like 12 teams in the league, it's like, okay, yeah, of course. Like, the percentages favored that, I think. So that's a good pull, though. I don't know if the wooden spoon existed at that time yet. I think that's the
good point.
Also the question.
Yeah, because like Nick said, it was 10 years ago. So
yeah,
2004 is before that. God, that makes me feel old. Brian Davenduck says, Galaxy scored. Oh no, we have another update. We have another update. Let's see what it is right now. Yeah, Galaxy is up at halftime 1-0. So after this show, tune in and let's watch at this is just Jesus Christ, man.
It really might be the wooden spoon derby. Yep.
Omar says the El Asico is next week.
I like that.
By the way, that was the only one went back all the way to 1996. Wooden Spoon started 2026, or 2016, yeah. I have like dyslexia tonight. Jesus Christ, with numbers. All right.
You're good, man.
So yeah, all right. So that's pretty much it. Tune in next week for when we are maybe really having a different type of episode.
Oh boy. Yep. Well, I think that's given us something to tune in about. So that's just a big sigh for this whole season and how it might culminate. But so that's all the chat.
Yep, that's all the chat.
All right, well, we'll wrap this up then.
Yep.
So, yeah, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's Michael. I'm AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you in the next video.
Take care, everyone.